सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। महायोगी स्वामी उमानंद सरस्वती की जय। Friends, I am going to talk about if India should rise as a spiritual head of the world. Yes, in Pune, at MIT, at Rajbagh, Dr. Karad has I wouldn't say constructed, but has seen that a huge monument has risen, a dome of wisdom has come up. And in that dome of wisdom, we have almost 54 philosophers, the statues of 54 philosophers of all over the world, of various religions, all under one dome, and he has dedicated it to Sant Jnanadev of Maharashtra, a boy of 16 who emerged as a philosopher, as a saint, as a yogi, as an avatar, and a lot more to be told about him. And Dr. Karad is very keen that India emerges as a spiritual head of the entire world. Oh, it's a beautiful dream, and I too share the same. So I was asked to present my paper, and I had the fortune of addressing a great gathering at MIT Rajbagh, and the contents of the paper is what I would like to share here with you. Yes, before we think of undertaking a responsibility of a spiritual head of the world, I think it is important that we understand what is the sort of a job, I would say, of a spiritual master, the job of the spiritual master in the world. So I tried and referred to almost 21 shlok of Skanda-Puran, in which the job of a guru is given very well. I wouldn't say job actually, but the task is described very well. And so I would like to just summarize them and see. The first thing is mythologically, spiritually, philosophically, Indian philosophically, we define Guru as a Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devu Maheshwara, Gurur Eva Para Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Yes, now we are going to consider the functioning abilities of this Trinity, God. So he is a creator. Guru is a creator, a sustainer, and he also destroys ignorance. So yes, he is a creator of knowledge. He is a guru. He is a teacher. So he is a creator of knowledge. He is a sustainer of what is good knowledge, and he is a destroyer of ignorance. So that is the first prime job of the guru. Then the second shlok says, Hetave Jagatamiva Samsararnam Setave Prabhave Sarva Vidyana Shambhave Guruve Namaha. The second shlok says that a guru is actually knowledge, which is what is, it's going to help every individual to cross the ocean of his life at the moment a guru holds him by his hand. So it's very important that it is able to help every individual to cross the ocean of life. When it is, we should be able to be guided by knowledge to live our lives in such a way that we feel we are living happily. So that's a very great responsibility of a guru. Hetave Jagatamiva Samsararnam Setave Prabhave Sarva Vidyanam, and therefore all the fields of knowledge should be kept before as a choice before the individual. The master should be able, the teacher should be able to give numerous options to the individual, so that the individual is able to select something and move on in his life. Then Etave jagatameva samsararma setave prabhave sarva vidyanam shambhave guruve nama ajnanatimirandasya jnanam janshalakaya. There's one more job which comes up with, in Skanda Puran. It says that those who are blind in their eyes, they are blinded by ignorance, darkness and ignorance. The Guru is puts collyrium, we call it anjan, collyrium in the eyes, which sort of opens the eyes of the intellect. Even sometimes those who are very wise, what is the use of wisdom in the countries and cities if the society is not wise? It means the wisdom has been kept in under key and lock. It's of no use. So therefore wisdom needs to reach out to the common man. It should be able to answer to the questions and the queries of the common man. So it is very important that wisdom is kept open to the others, and that is why the intellectuals also need to be told how to use the wisdom they have, instead of just merely establishing their supremacy over the common man because they have knowledge in their hand. So knowledge is supposed to be something which is to be parted to the common man, so he too can rise to their level. So ajnanatimirandasya jnanam janashalakaya chakshu unmilitam yena. The eyes have to be opened by this anjan, the collyrium of knowledge which is put in the eyes of the intellect. So then tvam pita tvam cha me mata tvam bandhu tvam cha devata. The shlok is very beautiful. It says that the Guru should have a maternal instinct, a paternal instinct, a brotherly instinct and a divine instinct. They should be able to reach out to the common man, to the ignorant people, as if they are the children. It should be a parental approach. The one who is wise has to have a parental approach. So if India has to rise to this level of a spiritual Guru, now obviously India, it should be able to take up a parental role in the world. It should be a parent to the entire world. And I'm sure that is an inborn tendency in the Indians. So I think a very understanding mind and a reaching out, a helpful, a service-oriented attitude is there in India, and Indians, amongst Indians. So they can reach out. Their attitude to the world should be more of a parental. Tvam pita tvam cha me mata, tvam bandhu tvam cha devata, samsara pratibodhartham. That should be able to give answers to every queries. Knowledge means answers to queries. And not only answers to queries, but wisdom means solutions to situations. So that has to be offered by the Indian, whoever can. So it's a very important thing that the society in India builds up in such a way that it is known for the wisdom, not for poverty or population. That's a very sad picture which is given. But I think India has inherited a great culture, a great heritage of knowledge through Ved and through Upanishads. So I think we owe it to the world that we can share it and pass it on to the world. Tvam pita tvam cha me mata tvam bandhu tvam cha devata samsara pratibodhartham tasmai shri guruve namaha. Then yat satyam jagat satyam yat prakashena bhati tat yada nandena nandanti tasmai shri guruve namaha. It's not only important that you share your words, make the thing situation correct, but they also should give joy. Joy. It is important that we share, we offer joy and bliss to the world. We have to give it, and then it should be so energetic. India should be so energetically known to the countries, known all over the world, that if there are any activities going on in the world, so let's say international sports, or let's say film industry, or let's say medical associations, wherever it is, they should miss India if it is not participating. So India needs to rise to a level where it is missed by everybody around. Yeah. Now, if you look at these qualities and have it, then there is one more thing. They have to promote the non-discriminating policy. Now, non-discriminating policies, like we say, bheda bhed. Abheda philosophy. Now that is no difference. Everything is, whether it's animate, inanimate world, it's one. We are all unified. Therefore, see, we are geographically, we are at different places. But at night when USA is awake and we are sleeping, people here in India are willing to work for USA when they are during their working hours, and vice versa, and vice versa. So geographic divisions are there, but we are not separated. God has unified us through work, through wisdom. He has unified us. He has not left us. Otherwise, why would we have discoveries in medical field and shared by the other countries, or yoga described by one country shared by the other, or some discovery coming up in the science world in Western countries and shared by the Indians. So it is one. It's not. It is geographically different. So for administrating capacity, but it is one finally. So this bheda, that is non-discriminating policy should come up. We have this non-aligned policy of Jawaharlal Nehru is there, but today we need a non-discriminating policy. Then we must love the world. India should learn to love the world. It is very important that we love the world, and we must give words to the world like compassion, kindness. These are the words which we need to give to the world, because this is very easy for the Indian minds. It is easy for the Indian minds, and it is easily reached. And if you reach out to the world, they very easily are able to accept this. So it's not that it's not possible for India, because it is not only that, it is based on Ved and all. There is sometimes you feel it's non-scientific, but actually it's not non-scientific. It's one more option. We have to look at it scientific and religious, and one more option has to be there. So I'll just give you an example, that in Bhagavad Gita it says if there are no rains, that means that karma is going wrong somewhere, that is action is going wrong somewhere. So this, let it be a third option. Let it not be desperate. You don't have to be desperate to prove it right scientifically. Let it be a third option. So it's only asking you to improve your actions, or just see whether your actions are good. For example, we have this karma yoga concept. Now you act for somebody. Suppose, for example, you are manufacturing cars. What if nobody buys it? The cars get piled up. So that is sanchit karma. So therefore, for any act, it needs to be reciprocated by the need of it. Similarly, knowledge has to be reciprocated by the queries. If the queries are answered by knowledge, it is knowledge. If the karma actions are going to fulfill some needs, it is karma yoga. Otherwise, it just becomes karma. It just becomes actions. And if they are not utilized, then the world is of no. So we are related. That if there is a query, we have to have a answer. If there is a situation, we have to have a solution. And if there is a service required, we should be able to act. Our actions should be backed by knowledge. So that is very important. And we have one saint who fulfills almost all these conditions. And there's one more thing I would love to say about that. We must learn to use our words very carefully. Very carefully. Words have to be used because they help to manifest the unseen situations. Now we have one party comes up, the other party, it bickers against that, the other party comes up, they bicker. It's not required. If we know one law, which is a prameya, as I said, a Vedic law, that sattvic activities will automatically defeat the rajasic. So if you are very sattvic, we are good at heart, you don't have to worry about the bad, they will be defeated. So India has to believe in these norms, in these policies, and promote. We had one saint who did this. He was a Sant Jnanadev, in whose name Dr. Karad has had this dome built up. All of you must come to India and visit this. It's very important, and it's a gathering of, Dr. Bhatkar very wisely said, it's like a library of philosophers over there. They're all sitting together. and Jnanadev is one of them, who was, he's appreciated mostly because he's at the age of, born in 1275. and lived only up to 1296. But in his 21 years, he brought great revolution in the world of knowledge, in the world of words, in the world of society, in the world of intellectuals. You have to name it. Yes, he had all these qualities which I just mentioned. He had a maternal instinct for the people who were ignorant. They call him Mauli. He was only 16 and he was termed as a mother. And he was a boy. It's a rare combination we have in that. Then he not only created literature, yes, he gave birth to beautiful texts, Jnaneshwari and Amritanubhav. It's a beautiful text that talks all about how the world has come up, how the world needs to be. It's a very beautiful text. It's a commentary on Bhagavad Gita. He also sustained the culture. Bhagavad Gita was sustained. He introduced various forms of common folk music in order to make the knowledge popular and reach the common man. There was Varna system at that time prevailing. He did not fight against it. He only included all the castes and classes under one banner of Bhakti Marg and showed them one God, that is Panduranga of Vithala of Panduranga. And he said that Bhakti Marg, and he said, let's all go in search of Atma, soul. And he kept on saying Vitthal, 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 Vitthal. And of course they gathered together under one banner, and all of them through various castes and creeds rose to saintly status. They were potters, they were washermen, they were people of different order came together and they moved on and they became great saints in India. So he offered them love, he offered them knowledge to the people who are ignorant, and he also brought up his own language. Marathi, it was Marathi, because till then all the works were in Sanskrit. They were out of reach of common man's language. So Jnanadev did a very wise thing. He used his own mother tongue. And because 500 years prior to that, Adi Shankaracharya also had given us a good commentary on Bhagavad Gita, but it was again in Sanskrit. So Jnanadev brought up in Marathi. So even today he is also seeing that people cross their ocean of life. I did it for last 70 years. This text has become my, what should I say, my Bible for me. Jnaneshwari has become like a Bible to me, like a Gita to me, and it helps me to live my normal life very happily. So there was one saint who did it. And of course, since India is a country, we cannot refer to all these qualities as inculcated in a person and call it a principle, P-A-L. No, these should be the policies inculcated in the entire Indian attitude, in Indian preamble or constitution. And we should create an India which will be directly responsible to play the role of a guru to the world. I mean, I'm sure it's possible for Indians also, and I'm sure the world will welcome it, because we have a very great culture. We have tolerance towards all. We respect all religions, and one more thing is very beautiful about this is cause and effect. India's policy philosophy teaches about cause and effect. For example, if there is a war, there has been a cause there. So if you don't want a war, you have to deal with the cause. So this sort of a simple approach to mankind's day-to-day needs and requirements, I'm sure can be dealt with a very motherly attitude. And if India could do that, I think we would love to see India in this light as a very maternal, and it is Mother India. Of course, we do call her Mother India. So let her prove that in 2019. And this was my paper at MIT. And I congratulate Dr. Karad for such a great achievement. And please go to the Google and type MIT Rajbagh, and I'm sure you will be able to see the dome. You may not be able to see me there, but you can see me here now. So please remember, especially the Indians need to remember this, that we have to go a long way, and we should learn to pass on the message of love, knowledge, bliss to the world. This is Swami Radhikananda from Pune. Thank you.